What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Dorky and 40 RC channel. So we can't race a whole lot these days, if ever. So what we're going to do is keep up on this fantastic sport of RC drag racing. And we're going to create a new segment, what I want to call Fast on Facebook. What that means is we're going to go through the Facebook groups, just kind of go through the top questions and answers and see what the pulse of the community is, what people are asking about, and kind of see if we can shed some light about it. Maybe we can help some of these guys out if they ever watch the channel. I don't like to post and repost on Facebook because it does seem like the MPRC community is starting to get slightly toxic. So I would like to just keep all my thoughts and opinions here on the channel with you guys in the community. So please feel free to comment and help out your fellow drag racers below. The first thing we need to talk about before we go to the Fast on Facebook is, if you were on Facebook last week, you would have saw a lot of stuff going on about rule changes in the Noprep drag racing scene. Now, most of you probably don't even realize that there was a so-called defined set of rules out there. Well, some of the people that are involved in putting these races together decided to get together and form certain coalitions and kind of define rules that they would use as standard rules at their 3 or 4 races this upcoming year. Their reason for doing this was nobody had defined any rules for 2022 yet, where the 2021 rule set was defined back in June of 2020. All in all, when you look at it, some of the things that a lot of these groups talked about weren't really that different. But I'm kind of in the mindset of if it isn't broke, don't fix it. And, you know, when it is all said and done, we all know pretty much what it's about. It's about money. Anybody that says that they've put $10,000 or $15,000 of their own money into hosting an event for a bunch of people to come to and don't expect to get any return off of it all must think that everybody that is out there is foolish, or they're just foolish with money, or the old adage, they started with $30,000 and now they're down to $15,000. That's kind of like the whole YouTube thing. How do you become a millionaire on YouTube? You start with 2 million. But have no fear, now that the dust is settled and some people made some comments on the Facebook groups, things have settled down, and it seems like these groups and some of them have backed away from each other. And they've, in the end, made themselves look even more foolish. So the hopes of drawing in sponsors and money and lining their pockets has failed. I'm sure there will be other attempts to this again. A lot of these people have been in RC for years. They've done things like this before. They know how to say, hey, we're going to have 4 races this year. And if you want to attend and be a vendor at all 4 of our races, it is going to cost you X amount of dollars. There's going to be this many people here. There's going to be this much money in the pot. And this way you can unveil all your new products. And it's a win-win for everybody, except for you and I, the person that goes to that race. So hopefully this was a big lesson to the very first people that tried to kind of reach out and make a big money grab in the hobby, kind of shit all over it. Hopefully that it doesn't seem to be impacting anybody from what I can see. People still want to get involved in Noprep drag, but there's going to be more reaches like this. There's going to be more things that are going to happen. So I would look for more of that in the future. Unfortunately, myself, I don't plan on flying to Arizona or California to race. I could care less about going to those big races. I like playing with my buddies in the backyard. You guys know that the Noprep drag racing scene is important to me because it started outside with my buddies. It helped calm my mind in COVID a year and a half ago when we didn't know what the heck was going on with everything in the world. Since I work in healthcare and we heard we were going to die all day, and then we came home from work and turned on the news and they said we were going to die all day. Let's move on to the real fun stuff here and start. So the first one here is a question on the MPRC experience from Mr. Mark Beatty. Sorry if I mispronounced that name. And he is trying to get into the Noprep drag RC scene. Mark, you should check out the Dorky M40 RC channel. He's asking, what should I buy, an RX-8 or a DRK? A fine question to ask. Now, the thing where this discussion really goes off the rails is that you get vendors jumping in here and putting in their own comments and everything else. My opinion and answer to this question, which I think is the way it's kind of settling down, is if you are not willing to spend the money on a higher end radio like a Sanwa M17, then you are better off to go with the DRK. And some people are saying that. Now, I've seen Ty Campbell from Tekin jump in. I salute them for working very, very hard on tuning their drag software to use with a regular remote. And just go ahead and do all that. The problem, Ty, is that people don't want to put in the work. I tell people this all the time. I've put in hundreds and hundreds of hours and a lot of money to get to where I am today. And I know a lot of you have too. The remote makes it easier. The DRK makes it easier to make those advancements that people want to see. They all want instant gratification. When you see people posting these 2.1, 2.2 GNS times on the daily, multiple times per day, you got to have a better sales pitch. And I don't think that people are willing to put in the time it takes. So therefore, I'm going to have to say DRK with a 3-turn motor. And if you are not going, but if you want to spend the money on the extra on the remote, then I would go with the RX8, or of course, as we know, the Mamba Monster 8S, which I would add to this post, but I don't want to do that because I don't feel like getting notifications all night. Someone selling a Breakout chassis here, Kevin Vogel, wanting to go in a different direction. Well, I mean, that's cool. I like my Breakout. I went in a good direction. I went straighter and faster. I broke the 2-second barrier with it. So go on in that different direction, Ken. Tony DiStefano, check this guy out here doing some awesome paint jobs. If you want to pay for a paint job, make sure you have that Sanwa radio. That way you can do your steering speed adjustments so you don't roll and ruin that $250 body you just paid for. Not sure how much he charges, but I'm sure it's not 20 bucks. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go through my videos and check out my Going Straighter video, and you will see all about that. Richard Cook here is asking, I just bought an RX-8 and a Phantom 2 in my Bullet, and I'm running an M17. And then everybody is telling him to go ahead and try doing the exact same stuff that we just did. He installed version 293. And could someone experienced provide the insight on how I should set up this ESC to do radio tuning? Well, Richard, you do not use ESC software that is made to work without radio tuning to do radio tuning. Mark Vine did a nice live video the other night about his races that he shot this past weekend. That was pretty cool. I watched that. And people are still asking about batteries. He's asking, Austin here is looking at a Max Amps 1700 milliamp battery. Our buddy Tim Barth, Midwest RC, promoting cash days going on. And this is going on at New Paris, Indiana. $20 buy-in. I think this is at their indoor drag racing strip, which looks pretty awesome. So if you are in the Indiana area and you want to go play inside when it might be snowing this weekend, go check out that event. Jumping over to the RC Noprep junkies, Randy here says, shut up and race. Put your MFing money where your MFing mouth is. See, the people are starting to get restless. It's getting cold and people want to race. They're getting crazy sitting behind their keyboards. So Kobe tearing it down here, 2.04. Has anybody tried the Biddy Design drag body? Asking for a friend. Are you really asking for a friend, Daniel? Or are you just afraid to ask? I'll tell you, I ordered one. It got stuck on the boat and I went ahead and canceled the order because I wouldn't have been able to race it in time. But speaking of cool bodies, J Concepts just released right here, this 2018 Ford Mustang body. Looks pretty cool to me. It's got a little bit of a scoop right there, which we know Frank Ulbrich has said is a bad thing that will take away some mile per hour. But hey, you know, that looks pretty cool. I will take any bodies that we can get. We all know that I think Proline has a Corvette body coming out that doesn't have the scoop and all that kind of stuff. So people just keep reposting this over and over. JJ Hill asking, any good bracket cars for sale? Well, how about a 2-second bracket car, JJ? I got one for you. A lot of people are selling stuff right now. It's a good time to pick up some used gear. I know I sold off my Max Amps batteries. Didn't want 3 batteries sitting around here during the wintertime that I had to worry about cycling over and over and over. So, but I wanted to keep one just in case prices do go through the roof and we can't get anything because of supply shortage. Kid Sims, yeah, here's that drama I was talking to you guys about earlier. Somebody's eating popcorn. So you know when you see the popcorn gif, things are just going to be fantastic. A lot of hood shots, a lot of car shots. There's just not a lot of good stuff to talk about on here right now. Man, what is going on? All right, so let's jump over to the McLaren page and see what's going on with McLaren. Pretty much the same thing when it comes to people promoting the bodies. Good to see that that's only $51. That's a good deal. That Lexan, I guess, hasn't went up in prices yet. We know that Tim Smith keeps teasing us with some new firmware. Who knows when that is going to come out? But it sounds like they are getting pretty close. Does DRK make a 3-turn drag motor? I'm not sure if DRK does, but McLaren, possibly. Not available to the public yet, is what Scott Reeves says. But we know people are running and they've been talking about it. Exalted RC, would anyone going 70 plus on a 3.5 turn be willing to share an ESC log publicly or through a PM? Because we can't put all that stuff out there. We got to keep everything a secret. There's not that many people going 70 miles per hour right now. I know it's asking a lot, but interested to see one, preferably without radio tuning. And people have posted a little bit and stuff like that. And then we got people jumping in and asking for gearing. Does 9017 sound okay for R1 3.5 with a 13.5 rotor? Jeremy, go out and test it and see what it does. And then guess what? Drop a tooth, go up another one, go up 2 on your spur, go down 2 on your spur. See what it does. The only way you're going to find out, got to put in the time, man. Not sure why somebody would ask this. What's the fastest time anyone has been on a DR10 stock chassis? And what motor setup? No carbon fiber chassis. Okay. More gearing questions, all that kind of stuff. Samuel, need some help from someone at McLaren. If you could PM me, I'm having a hookup with my DRK. I got back from getting rebuilt. Thanks. Update. Found out I screwed it up and I'm guessing and I'm having to send it back. Stuff happens, I guess. Live and learn. Welcome to RC. You should try flying FPV quad, Samuel. I bet you would just love it. Last week, Sunday was Halloween, and a lot of people decided to dress up and take pictures of themselves as, I think, Colin Branch, could be Tim Smith. Can you be competitive with the Futaba 3PV radio? Work with the DRK ESC. You can be competitive if anything, Mr. Herman. You just got to put in the time and the work. And Donovan here at the very end with a nice good tip for a lot of you beginners who have never soldered before and everything else. This has actually even happened to me once, so I guess I'm not a very good solderer either. Wanted to give everybody a heads up. Take and check your motor to see if your motor wires have come unsoldered. Have fun and be safe. So, very good tip there. Thanks, Donovan. Well, this was kind of an ad hoc thing to do. You can obviously tell that I am bored. So hopefully you guys found this slightly entertaining and slightly communicative. Now there are going to be more stuff coming on the channel. So that's going to be it for this little one. Just wanted to do this kind of thing and say hello. So we'll see you guys later.